At this moment, the two stood still, locking eyes in silence. Hanju thought to himself, I haven't done anything yet, so where's this guy's friendliness coming from? Huang Jihao suddenly spoke. Kid, I like the look of you. Want to take me as your master? Reaching the nascent soul realm in the future won't be difficult. Hearing that, Hanju was dumbfounded. He hadn't expected him to say something like that. Brother Huang, please no, he thought, feeling that his charm was being used in the wrong way. Hanju grew annoyed and asked coldly, Who are you, and why have you come to Yuqing's sect? Huang Jihao introduced himself. I'm Huang Jihao from the Vermilion Bird Sword Sect. His eyes showed firm resolve. This time, I came to Yuqing's sect to challenge your God Slayer Elder. Hanju didn't understand why Huang Jihao wanted to challenge the God Slayer Elder instead of anyone else in the sect. Huang Jihao replied, I have to deal with the God Slayer Elder first. Only then will the green-clad sacred cult allow me to challenge them. Hearing such a ridiculous reason, Hanju was so furious that veins popped on his forehead. At that moment, the system prompt appeared. You have developed hatred toward the green-clad sacred cult. Hatred level 6 stars. Hanju grew suspicious. Then what about their cult leader? Something tells me the God Slayer Elder isn't even the strongest. But Huang Jihao didn't know either. He admitted the cult leader was shrouded in mystery. Hanju continued to question him, just to be sure. Annoyed, Huang Jihao furrowed his brow. Why are you asking so much? Are you going to take me as your master or not? Hanju smirked slyly. He's getting impatient. He's falling into my trap. With a confident tone, Hanju said, Taking you as my master is no problem. If you can withstand one sword strike from me, I'll acknowledge you as my teacher. Huang Jihao's expression turned proud. I'll take your strike. If you can even scratch me, just one hair, I'll never return to Yuqing sect. With that, he stretched out his arms confidently. Huang, always keep my word. Hanju no longer held back. He drew his sword. Huang Jihao observed quietly. This sword isn't ordinary. How does someone only at Foundation Establishment Stage 9 already own such a treasure? Hanju began gathering spiritual energy. A powerful aura burst forth. Huang Jihao was taken aback. He felt it was nearly impossible to block. He quickly shifted into a defensive stance. Just as he was about to be blown away, he hastily activated Wind Wall. Then he saw Hanju launching his strike from afar. Huang Jihao quickly raised his sword to block it, but the power behind the blow kept increasing, making it harder and harder to resist. His eyes gradually changed, but he still forced himself to endure. Eventually, he couldn't hold out any longer and was flung away. He was sent flying high into the air, feet no longer touching the ground. What kind of sword art is this? How could it be this powerful? Suddenly, Huang Jihao realized something strange. This isn't just swordplay, it's a divine ability. After regaining his balance, he gently landed on the ground. Hanju praised, Impressive, your reaction was excellent. Then he raised an eyebrow and mocked. The famous Huang Jihao wouldn't go back on his word now, would he? Not willing to accept the result, Huang Jihao shouted, You cheated. Hanju calmly replied, I gave you a warning beforehand. Now Huang Jihao spoke more cautiously. No matter what you say, that sword strike, even if it wasn't a sneak attack, I still couldn't withstand it. Just who are you? Hanju's gaze turned cold. You came to find me, and now you're asking who I am? Huang Jihao was shocked but quickly composed himself. He promised not to come to Yuqing's sect again and said he would wait until Hanju left the sect before challenging him again. Seeing this, Hanju let out a sinister smile. Wait until I leave Yuqing's sect? You think you can wait that long? As Huang Jihao left, he muttered angrily, That damn brat dares to mock me. If only I hadn't been so careless and dodged a little faster. Suddenly a voice startled him. May I ask who you are? Quan Wugang appeared from nowhere and approached Huang Jihao. Why are you coming from the direction of Yuqing's sect? Your sneaky behavior screams outsider. A thief, no doubt. Huang Jihao was annoyed. What's it to you? Get lost. But Quan Wugang stayed calm. If I capture you, it'll be a great contribution. The elders might value me more. Before he could finish his sentence, the two had already drawn their swords. Huang Jihao suddenly burst into laughter. Who the hell do you think you are? Then the two clashed fiercely, swords flying wildly. Huang Jihao actually felt relieved. At least he had found a way to let out his frustration. On Hanju's side, the system suddenly notified him. You quietly repelled Huang Jihao and obtained a spiritual treasure. Congratulations. You have acquired a grade 6 spiritual treasure. Hanju felt it was a rare and valuable item. He chuckled with satisfaction. The world is mine alone. Now tell me, who else dares stand above me? Just then, a voice called from outside, Hanju, are you in there? Hearing the familiar voice, Hanju immediately guessed it was his master coming to see him. He felt a little embarrassed that she had to personally come all the way here. Shichuan spoke. It's all right. Has Chang Yue ever told you about my senior brother, Quan Wugang? Trying to recall, Hanju remembered that she had indeed mentioned him. She continued urgently. He returned yesterday, but while passing near Yuqing Sect, he encountered Huang Jihao and ended up seriously injured. Hearing this, Hanju was speechless. As expected of you, old Huang, he scratched his head awkwardly. Seriously? Just that unlucky? Shichuan elaborated. He was defeated while Huang Jihao was still wounded. Also, a nearby forest was wrecked by sword energy. I suspect Huang Jihao had previously come to Yuqing Sect, got beaten by you, and was still recovering. At that, Hanju broke into a cold sweat. Could it be did Master come here to hold me accountable? But Shichuan smiled. I just didn't expect the famous Huang Jihao to lose to you. This time, I'm here to ask for your help suppressing senior brother Quan a little. Hanju looked doubtful and somewhat hesitant. Suppress Quan Wugang? She then laid out her plan. The sect leader probably isn't stronger than senior brother Quan, but because of his loyalty and dedication to Yuqing Sect, he's been neglecting his cultivation. Right now, if we forcibly remove him, it might disappoint the others. Besides, senior brother Quan only wants revenge on the sect leader. Once his injuries recover, he'll challenge you. If he wins, he'll become the new sect leader. Hanju nodded solemnly. It's possible, but it's best if the duel is done discreetly. Of course, Shichuan replied. It's also a way to save face for him. While they were talking, her eyes suddenly fell upon black-held chicken. You're raising a chicken? This one looks quite extraordinary. Hanju suddenly grinned eerily, which startled the chicken. Normally cultivation is dry and boring. Having it around as company isn't bad at all. Shichuan didn't expect Hanju to feel bored with cultivation. That reminded her. Oh right, the 100-year Immortal Domain Assembly is coming soon. At that event, you can obtain any kind of magical treasures, pills, heavenly materials, and earthly treasures you want. Even secret techniques and cultivation manuals. As long as you have enough resources, you can trade for them. Want to go? But Hanju shook his head and declined. He didn't want to take the risk. Meanwhile, back at the Vermilion Bird Sword Sect, an angry voice bellowed, What? You couldn't even take a single sword strike from him? Huang Jihao lowered his head in shame. I don't want to admit it, but it's true. The man across from him spoke coldly. You're the top strategist in our sect, aside from me. And yet, Huang Jihao could only explain, his spiritual power was unbelievably dominant. It was the first time I've encountered such a force, and also, the man speaking to Huang Jihao was the sect leader of the Vermilion Bird Sword Sect, Tang Han. He narrowed his eyes. And also what? At this point, Huang Jihao's face flushed with embarrassment. He's extremely handsome. Within our entire sect, there's no one whose looks can compare to his. Tang Han's expression changed, filled with helplessness. Is that really important? Seeing his reaction, Huang Jihao quickly waved his hands. All right, it's not important. Then he suddenly remembered. The green-clad sacred cult is still targeting Yuqing Sect. Once I recover, I plan to go challenge them. Tang Han warned him. Their foundations can't be underestimated. In fact, the Grand Elder once came to me, hoping I would lead a resistance against the green-clad sacred cult, but I refused. Because as long as that person is alive, the cult cannot be destroyed. Huang Jihao was puzzled. That person? Tang Han recounted, the cult leader of the green-clad sacred cult. He was once a passionate youth, much like you, but due to a fortuitous encounter, he fell into the demonic path and became their leader. I heard from my master's master that this current generation of the cult's leaders is the strongest in its history. This time, I want you to probe his strength. But do not act recklessly. Huang Jihao's eyes grew determined. Don't worry. I may be arrogant, But I'm not stupid. 7 years later. Han Ju sat around bored, thinking, since Yang Tiandong and Jufan were captured, their cultivation has increased. Yet their status hasn't changed. Most likely, they're just pretending to compromise. Sect Masterly has it rough. If he's not being beaten, he's on the way to getting beaten. Suddenly, Black Hell Chicken came up to him. Master, I want to go outside and take a look around. Han Ju paused to consider. By now, Black Hell Chicken's strength had reached the chi refining stage. Its mind had grown sharper, too. Becoming increasingly curious about the outside world, after a moment, Han Ju abruptly stood up, startling the chicken. All right, let's put it like this. Han Ju raised a picture of a roasted chicken and threatened it. Out there, it's dangerous. Lots of people want to eat you, you know. This place is your restricted area. Never go beyond it. You must be absolutely invincible before you're allowed out, otherwise, you'll definitely die. Even I don't dare step outside. Hearing this, Black Hell Chicken collapsed in despair, sobbing, Master, please stop reading. I won't go out anymore. Han Ju smiled happily. His brainwashing had worked. Just then, Li Qingzi came rushing over. Elder Han, something's happened. Phoenix Leaf Valley has been destroyed by the green-clad sacred cult. The Valley Master sent a final message before his death. He said there are 10 soul transformation cultivators within the green-clad sacred cult. That's enough power to sweep across the entire Da Yen cultivation world. Their next target it could very well be Yuqing Sect. Elder Han, what do you? Before Li Qingzi could finish, Han Ju had already dashed off at full speed. He quickly grabbed his basket, stuffed Black Hell Chicken inside, and slung a bag over his shoulder. Seeing this, Li Qingzi shouted in awe, taking action so quickly in a moment of crisis. Just as I thought, I didn't misjudge this man. Once everything was packed, Han Ju replied, well, if you're done talking, you'd better hurry up and run. That sentence left Li Qingzi completely stunned, mouth agape.